Good morning and welcome to Frank's School. This is actually the third video from yesterday. I had to wait because the house got noisy, but so I'm doing it this morning, but it should be in the 90th day. This is the grand pause. I've been telling this story to show punctuation, and I stopped the story right before the end. Okay, and the last thing I did was I showed you other forms of punctuation over there at a kind of a desk, and now I'm back here to board. Well, catalog. A catalog is a literary device. It's when you list things. Most people know a catalog as a book full of things to buy. Well, I say e.g. of ships. The most famous catalog as a literary device is in Homer's Iliad, I think it is, where he lists the ships, the various ships that came to fight the Trojan War. You could look that up on Wikipedia if you wanted to. Well, I've put together a list here. I'm going to call it a catalog of punctuation marks, and here is a list. A catalog, certainly in the Iliad, is in verse. And how do you remember a very, very long list? Well, this isn't a very, very long list, but the one in Homer is, and it helps to remember things if they are in poetry. Well, I started with these in alphabetical order, starting with apostrophe dash, I think. But then I realized that if I rearranged them and studied the stress patterns, I could get them so that they could be done as a kind of a wrap. I'll show you. I'll snap my fingers to it eventually as I read this. It's strange. And I taught how to do this to the best that I could last year. Starting in videos 73.1 and going on, I mixed it in with the teaching of, I think at that time it was Greek mythology. I mixed it in, but I showed the writing of verse, which will become important later, eventually when we do the Song of Mary's Daughter. All right. If I say I'm going to use two different kinds of marks here, a stroke and a scoop, to show the stress pattern. And if I say semicolon, apostrophe, dash. Now I've got four strong beats. Semicolon, apostrophe, dash. I've got four feet, they call it, in that line. Cat, leave that camera alone. Exclamation point, colon, ellipsis, and comma. This is called, what is this called? Enjambment. That's called enjambment. When you have to finish, when one line carries into the next line in verse, that's called enjambment. It usually doesn't happen within a word, a hyphenated word, but I had to make this work. Parentheses, brackets, quotation marks, once again, double. Now I capitalized the B because part of the rules of writing verse is that every line starts with a capital letter, even though you wouldn't in normal writing. And while I think of it, a swung dash is a kind of punctuation that I did not cover here, and yet I say that is them all. Well, you don't usually use a swung dash as you're typing on a keyboard. In some languages you put it over letters, Portuguese for example. Another example of a punctuation mark I did not include is our angle brackets. Well, at the time that I did this, computers did not yet exist when I first taught this, and to identify a website or a web address, you use that double quotes, single quotes, hyphen, both single and the. Once again, I had to split that. And virgule and period, that is them all. that is them all. Now here I've used the dash to sum up the list, so the punctuation is correct here. I put that in though as a filler so that I would have 4 stress patterns in each line. So let's see, I could probably underline this to show it as a title. And let me try this. Here we go. This is going to be Frank once again rapping, sort of. Let's see if I can do this. Semicolon, apostrophe, dash, exclamation point, colon, ellipsis, and comma, parentheses, brackets, quotation marks, double quotes, single quotes, hyphen, both single and double, and virgule, and period. That is them all. There we go. A punctuation rap. This is such a collection of awkward words and words that you would simply never put in poetry that I thought I would just try to see if I could do that. Let me see if I can do it one more time, a little faster. I'll probably mess up. You need to practice something like this. Semicolon, apostrophe, dash, exclamation point, colon, and ellipsis, and comma, parentheses, brackets, quotation marks, double quotes, single quotes, hyphen, both single and double, and virgule, and period. That is them all. I'm getting better. I stuck an and in here somewhere, and that made me stumble. All right. Well, I think the next time you come back, the grand pause will be over. I'll go back to the story. And whoa, who knows where the end is going to go to this story. I'm a little bit excited about it, and I may get help. I may get help from abroad. All right, see you then.